Okay, back with you a while later. You can see the fuel gauge is down to about 200 liters, about 210, 205, 210 liters. So I should get the light at about 30, I think it's 30 liters that I get the light on. And I'll just put her down right here on Krimsk. I've just been flying around, killing time and looking at trains, following traffic around, and just otherwise keeping myself occupied. So I will be back once I'm about ready to set this thing down. Okay, I'm back with you 15, 20 minutes later. I've got my fuel warning light on, telling me that I'm down to about 30 liters of fuel. That's about 5 minutes of flight time. So I'll go ahead and set up for a very quick recovery out here at Krimsk. So I'm going to pull the throttle in and start to come into a descent. Now I also did have my airspeed indicator. I think it was when I was, I think the trick was that I had to get it back down to low level for it to be able to unthaw. Even though I did have the heater on, it didn't unthaw until I got down to, well, I was messing around, following trains around or something, and all of a sudden it started working. I have also depleted all but about 50 kilograms per square centimeter of oxygen. So, of course, as I was depleting, using, and breathing oxygen, the pressure went down. Now I'm down to about 50. So I'm actually pretty happy that with the way that every system on this aircraft has worked, maybe with the exception of the navigation type systems and maybe a little bit of the radio. I think that was a little bit, it wasn't hard to figure out at all. I think it was trying to correlate a little too much the real world radio operation with the DCS system and the way that the radio has to operate in DCS. I think I was a little bit too hung up on how it works in reality for me to really catch on to exactly how to set it up and how to use it in the aircraft we have here. But yeah, everything that we need is definitely working, and every system on the aircraft that I've been able to look at has worked very satisfactorily so far. Now, let's see here. Just going to set up and come around, land from the opposite direction here. And 400, yeah, I need to get a little bit lower and a little bit slower before I get flaps in gear. Then it's going to be about 200 on the approach, 170 over the threshold, and then just kind of let her touch down, shooting for as much as possible the 3-point configuration. And I'll go ahead and make sure that the tail wheel is locked. So there we go. That should be a good, fairly good config for the landing. Okay, so let me bring the nose up a little bit. And I also wanted to check the warning that we get for the flaps being down but the gear being up. I think there's an audio tone that comes on. So in that case, I will go flaps down first and then I'll get the gear down. Although that's slightly out of order, I guess, from what you would have as the ideal. Okay, temperatures are looking okay. Boy, that water temperature just came shooting down. That's way, way low, but I don't think there's any harm in that. Oil temperature is down low too. Good pressures. Yeah, I need to set her down as quickly as I can. Okay, let me bring the nose up. 300 I think was the limit on flaps. But in either case, yeah, let's go ahead and go flaps down. Yeah, there we go. There's the audio tone. Just a horn. No, wait for full flaps before I get the gear, and I'll just kind of keep an eye on my airspeed. I'll let the nose come down just to keep it coming, keep the airspeed from bleeding off too far. Okay, there's 20 degrees. Let's go gear down. Okay, now I can pull the nose back up. Okay, 2 green, gear down and locked. Okay, verified tail wheel lock, flaps down. Just going for 200. And let me go a little bit trim nose up, or a lot trim nose up actually to help me out here. Had a lot of aft stick input just then. A little bit of throttle just to cut into the descent rate, and this should work out just fine. Yeah, pretty, well, knock on wood, pretty good looking approach so far. I'll take it. Okay, a little bit more trim nose up. Okay, a little trouble seeing over the nose, but not too bad. Let me just make sure I'm coordinated, make sure that I'm just kind of lined up I'll gently pull the throttle in. I don't want to yank it in. That'll have a lot of weird effects when it comes to torque coming off of the propeller. So I just want to hold it up here, see if I can set it down as much as I can in sort of a 3-point attitude. Okay, touchdown, throttle in, and just gently tapping the brakes to keep her tracking down the runway. Almost lost it there for a second, but I think I got her. Had to remember to also a lot of aft stick after touchdown. I mean, not so much that you're going to fly off the runway or stall, but aft stick helps keep the tail wheel down, and with the tail wheel locked, it helps keep you pointed in the right direction. So I'm just going to take it off the runway up here to the left, and we'll run through the shutdown again. Oh, why not? There's no hurry, no big rush on any of these, so even though I'm kind of repeating stuff I've already done, yeah, why not? Let's go tail wheel unlock. And let me bring it back around. I'll just back taxi to the... I think I have to back taxi. I don't have another taxiway up there to the end of the runway to take me off. This is my only option. Okay, a little throttle. A little bit of tap to the right. I've got to remember that it's a little... there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit twitchier than I remember from the 190 taxiing it around. I'll just take her straight out here to the left, or I'm sorry, off to the right here on this little hard stand. Do with a little bit more speed just to help it keep coming. And as you put in throttle, it just naturally brings you off to the left, so I didn't even have to correct my path. I just let the throttle take me around that time. Okay, so this looks like a good spot to shut her down at. That'll work. Okay, let me bring up the kneeboard. Let me get to the shutdown checklist, and I'll be right back. Okay, just got to let her idle at 2 minutes to get the temperature down. You can see the water temperature came back up. I didn't watch it as it was on the approach or anything, but I think the water temperature would have come up. That's probably that. Yeah, I would have to think that's the effect of not having airflow over the radiators, is that it's just going to naturally come up no matter what you do right then. But okay, idle for 2 minutes just to let the engine cool down, which is a very, very reasonable thing to do. But I'm going to totally blow that up right now and go straight to radiators closed. ZU. Okay, pull the engine stop handle to stop the engine. I have the feeling I've missed something here. Didn't... Yeah, okay, there we go. I'll start with this. Okay, governor automation is in the... No, that was it. It just seems like there's a lot less to it this time, I guess. Okay, release the... Pull the engine stop handle. Okay. And, boy, something seems different this time. Did I miss these two steps? I know that I was a little bit confused by the sequence didn't make sense to me last time. Could this be it? Could I have just missed this point last time? Okay, pull the engine stop handle. And, I mean, is that not... That's just the fuel cock. That's what it's calling it right here, engine stop handle. I think there's like 3 different names for it in the manual itself. But okay, that makes sense. Okay, then immediately release as soon as the engine stops. Ignition switch to the O or the 0 position. Fuel feed to the ZU position. And fuel feed selector to the ZU. Okay, that's the fuel pump selector. I think it was might have been this part that was a little bit confusing to me last time. I think it was just because I missed that one step right there and came immediately down to the rest of the stuff. Okay, press the electrical kill switch. Now, that doesn't seem like the same procedure I was reading last time. I'm sure that's not the same procedure I was reading last time. It might be. I might just be completely confused, but that doesn't seem right at all. That's definitely not the procedure that I would use in either case, because I didn't even shut down the radio. I didn't shut anything off electrically. I just went straight to the kill switch. So something was different just then. I'm not going to worry about it. I've got plenty of time to figure it out, and I'm not even going to fly a campaign in this or anything until we have a suitable campaign anyway. So let me just get the canopy. But folks, for now, I think that's going to do it. I cover bombing and use of the bombing system controls in a separate tutorial video that I did a long time ago. I'll have a link to that in the video description if you want to check it out. And I'm sure at some point, once DCS World War II is a little bit more developed and a little bit more mature, I'll start to revisit a lot of these aircraft. But for now, I'm just going to kind of lay it aside like I've done, well, a lot of the aircraft that I've done test flight series in, until there are good missions and good campaigns to employ them in. And that's not to say that the challenge campaign that I started and did a little bit up here wouldn't be fun to finish out. I might come back and do that at some point, but yeah, right now there's just so much more that I want to get into and other types of things I want to do. So for now, that's going to do it for this series. I had a lot of fun flying the aircraft. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed following along. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.